What is up, everybody? Welcome to another Wingin It podcast, episode 29. Andre, how you doing, man?
I'm doing all right. Just chilling out.
Yeah, so this week was this week was kind of like a rage week for everybody. If we're being completely honest, because people was pissed off this week for a number of reasons. But we're gonna start this thing off with Sony because they had the big state of play this week. One of us watched it. I'll let you guess which one.
All right, look, I was sick. I was sick and didn't catch the announcement. So look, I'll do it next week. Okay, good.
Okay, but if you guys watched it, it was 42 minutes. They said there wasn't going to be any PS5, but they showed 3 PS5 games. They showed Godfall, Pathless, and what was the other one they showed? Crap, I can't remember because I probably didn't like it. But
it's probably because they're going to be PS4 games too, so it doesn't technically count.
Yeah. So I will say this. I thought it was just okay. I didn't think it was bad or horrible. The games that I did like on there was Genshin Impact, but I'm probably going to pick that one up on Switch because I like my action adventure games on the Switch because I could take it anywhere with me. I did like how Pathless, because they did a little bit of a developer dive kind of with Pathless, and I actually liked the flow of it. I'll put it like that. And Godfall, I like how Godfall is looking. I like the gameplay that they showed for Godfall. The only problem is I'm not 100% sold on the actual style. What they're doing is kind of like a online game, kind of like well, I don't want to say like Road Company, but it's kind of like an online game, but it supposedly has a campaign with it, but we'll have to wait and see for more because they are going to go into more detail on that one because that one is supposed to drop this fall. So we'll see about that. But they did show something real cool on Crash 4 that I thought was real cool. But at the first beginning of the actual presentation for it, I thought they had made the game slow, but they showed like all these different modes that you can do, and I think that actually going to help the game out. So we'll just have to wait and see on those. Like I said, I didn't think it was bad, but I'm a little more optimistic than everybody else. I don't get upset if the thing I predicted didn't happen. I know some people do, but then it is what it is in that state. So, but there is one thing that pissed a lot of people off, and that was Spider-Man got confirmed for the PlayStation version of Marvel's Avengers, and he is set to arrive in 2021. Personally, I understand why. I understand why from a business standpoint. I'm pretty sure Sony hashed out extra money to Square and Crystal Dynamics to get that specifically for them. Mm-hmm. Once again, I know people say, well, doesn't Sony have the rights to Spider-Man? Only movie. They don't have anything else. That's why Spider-Man and Miles and Gwen on Spider-Gwen are in Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 on Switch. Yeah. They're in there.
They don't own the rights to them in video games, just in movies.
Yeah, just in the movies. And like if tomorrow, if Marvel wants to make an animated Spider-Man and put it on Disney Plus, Sony can't say anything about it.
Nope.
So there's that. Now, I understand why some people are upset about it because it does seem kind of like a shady move. But at the same time, if Sony's shelling out extra money for that, then it's a business decision at that point. But my only problem is I don't think Sony needs to be doing that because the rumor that's going around now is Sony is trying to buy up a lot of exclusivity or having exclusive things happen for their games to try to pull players from Microsoft, which to me, when you play that game, ask Microsoft how writing blank checks work.
I mean, they have a whole Xbox One to explain that for you.
Yeah. So, I mean, it doesn't. just because you write blank check. Like, remember when Matrick was over the game division at Xbox, they were just buying stuff. That's back when, you know, it was play it here on Xbox first. And they were just apparently just spending money left and right. And you can't sustain your business model like that.
No, it's just dumb to be honest.
So once again, I'm not mad about Sony doing that. I understand it from a business standpoint because they're trying to, you know, I think right now, if we were to be honest, just being honest, if you were looking at Xbox and Sony for this fall and you were like, okay, I can't get both of them, I had to get one. Right now, Microsoft looks like the better purchase to go with, simply because you'll be able to use your old controllers. You'll be able to have access to their library. Game Pass looks hella enticing. So you don't actually have to buy every game. You can, you know, try them out. And with what's going on in the world today, and with, you know, all the people losing their jobs, I don't think there's going to be a lot of people buying a lot of new consoles come Christmas, because people going to have to catch bills up if they're able to go to work. So if you're lucky enough, blessed enough to actually be able to afford one, you're probably going to go with Microsoft, because that's the better value overall. From just looking at it from a life standpoint, that's the better value, especially if you already have an Xbox One. You can just use your controllers. So I get why Sony's doing it. I just don't think that it's a good idea, because we know how this ends when you start just trying to buy up all of that, because it never works out in the end like that. So yeah, your thoughts on this?
I mean, I'm in agreement. It's not exactly the brightest idea. I mean, yeah, I do understand what they're going for, because if somebody's more interested in pushing for exclusives or exclusive content, then yeah, it's a good idea. You'll get those people. But in the long run, if we're looking back at what people have for their platforms and who has what, especially using the coming Xbox with having Game Pass and being able to transfer a lot of your stuff over with it, and that's going back to even the original Xbox, even if it's not everything. You got the original Xbox 360, then the One, and then you'll have the Series X as far as library is concerned, which you can dive into. Sony is going to be PS4 and PS5. Granted, I think they're saying now that from jump everything from PS4 is supposed to be playable, supposedly. But
yeah,
it still depends on what you have for a library with them moving forward. Now, if somebody's new to each platform, then the Series X is probably going to be the better value, especially when you consider Game Pass.
Yeah.
It's just in the long run. Like, only if you're looking for exclusivity will the PS5 make more sense. And honestly, Sony could push the angle if they do it right with advertising. Why get a Series X if everything that you have is going to be playable on your Xbox One, where you can get a PS5? That would be a smart way to play it, but depends on how they advertise it.
Yeah, that's true. My thing was, Sony's never been 100%. They haven't been 100% transparent with people as far as the backward compatibility is concerned. We've been hearing rumors, but they haven't came out and said anything. Where as Microsoft, they've been transparent. They've been transparent from day one with what they're trying to do. So I don't know what it is. I don't know what Sony's going with. But we just got to wait and see. Honestly, once again, they did not drop the price or release date. I still don't believe that they're coming out this year. I think what's going to happen is they're gonna make a statement probably around September and be like, look, due to, you know, the pandemic, we're gonna have to push these back. I don't see them coming out this year.
Honestly, think it would be the smarter move to make, but
yeah, because they normally you would have at least had a release date right now, at least. But one of your biggest markets has like 40 million people unemployed, which is the U.S. Yeah, it's going to be a very because people going to be like, look, man, I got to catch bills, I got to catch mortgage up, I got to catch rent up. I can't. They can play what they got, That's basically what's going to happen. Like Christmas is getting postponed this year because people just aren't going to have this is like the absolute worst time to try to push this out, in my opinion, from a business standpoint, just because of what's going on. And on top of that, like I said in previous Winging It episodes, if your fiscal year starts in March anyway, why don't you just call 2020 a wash and just be like, okay, look, we'll release them in March. Because apparently a lot of the games got pushed back to next year, 2021 anyway. Yeah. So why not just call it a wash and be like, okay, look, we couldn't do it, but we can we can just go on and just make our statements. People will still be hyped. The hypeness ain't gonna go anywhere.
Yeah. Not
really. I mean, you're gonna have some people that get mad, but they'll be all right. They'll get over it.
A lot of them will, yeah.
And so that's just my thinking. So moving right along in where people are hella pissed for no apparent reason. Pikmin 3 Deluxe got a shadow trailer dropped with the release date of 10/30/20. That's October 30th. Why is Nintendo like this?
My question is, what happened to Pikmin 4?
Like I said, why is Nintendo like this? Look, I understand why people are mad. All right, let me just go and say I understand why people are upset. I also understand once again why Nintendo's doing this. You can get mad at the fact that the Wii U did not sell, but the problem is if the best games on there are probably going to get ported. You should have known that. So I don't know who's working on the Pikmin 3 port, but I assume it's probably either Grizo or one of their other second tier teams that did it. That's what I'm assuming. But I saw this coming. Now I didn't expect them to do it this year, but I saw this coming. The other thing though, and I think the other reason why people are mad is because Nintendo's just not saying nothing.
No, they're not. They're just dropping stuff and not really putting much information out.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, y'all need to stop this because your competitors, your whatever you want to call them, because they try to say they're not in competition with each other, but your cohorts in the gaming industry, they are being open. They're doing digital. They're doing what y'all used to do, and now all of a sudden, y'all are radio silent. You're doing shadow drops on trailers, and you're just not saying nothing, and that's not smart. That's just not smart. From a business standpoint, it's not smart. Nobody likes that. So you need to start saying something. Like I know y'all got a whole new chain of command over there. You know, you got new people in new places, but I'm like, bro, at some point y'all gonna have to open your mouth and say something. Or people just gonna continue to get y'all. Your social media feeds gonna get blown up with people being pissed. I just don't know what else to say about it because I'm like, why are y'all being quiet of all times now of all times? Why are you being quiet?
Yeah, why not do the thing that you've been doing since before now? Like, I mean, I get that things have to be rearranged and shuffled, but some of this stuff, they already knew they had planned.
Yeah, like
it's not like all this is.
Pikmin 3, they've had to have been working on that at least last year. at least, because there's new content added to it. So I'm like, if there's new content added to it, you've been working on it. Now, granted, they did say a while ago that there's a lot of stuff that they were working on that we don't know anything about. Well, now is the time to put something together.
Yeah, now is the time to actually do a full direct and give people some worthwhile things to look forward to. This is probably their best opportunity to do so, since one, we know they're going to have the cheapest cost platform to buy into.
Yeah.
Two, their schedule is still very much on time outside of third parties. And three, people are begging for it. This is the best time to do it.
And I'm not talking about an 8-minute thing. You're gonna have to pull out a full 40-minute E3 style direct at this point. Like, people ain't gonna go for that 2-minute mess. I mean, and this time, Suda 5-1, get your head out the way when you're showing No More Heroes.
Please don't do that again.
That's not, look, it was funny the first time, but now you're getting on our nerves with that mess.
Like, look, you want to show the game. Well, like, at least if you want to be on the screen, put them in the corner. Don't put them right in the middle of the screen. Put them in the corner, side, shrink them down a little bit.
Look, I get it. I get the first time you did, I get it. You was trying to be funny. I get it. I understand it. But the second time you did, it don't want funny no more.
Let's only get that one chance. That's it.
But I in all honesty though, I really do think Nintendo needs to. I don't know what. I understand now. There are some people saying that COVID's not an excuse. Yes, it is. I mean, everybody's having to rearrange stuff. Everybody is. So the pandemic is an issue. Because once again, like we said last week, Nintendo is not as big as you think it is. It's just not. It's a corporation, yes, but it's not as big as you think. It's not a conglomerate like Sony and Microsoft is. All they make is games. That's all they do. Sony and Microsoft have other divisions. So does Apple, so does Google. So Nintendo just does video games.
People probably look at the fact that Nintendo licenses out a lot of their stuff to different companies. But they themselves don't make a lot of outside products. Yeah, there'll be Nintendo branding on a bunch of stuff like that. The Mario Jenga set.
Yeah. Like how long did it take them to let Lego do a damn set for Mario? What was they've been asking for that for 20 plus years?
Forever.
Yeah. So I mean,
a lot of stuff. Then even the toys that they go to, they go to different brands. Like Sega Toys does a lot of the toys for Nintendo. So they outsource their properties to a lot of different places because they're not as big as people think they are. Now, if they were doing a lot of this in-house, they'd be making a lot more money than people are thinking they make. And now, don't get me wrong, Nintendo does have money because they don't waste money. They don't waste money, so they have money. But they're not, once again, every opportunity that they have.
Yeah, they don't. They do not do that. They don't just throw money at stuff. So I understand that, but I also understand as a fan, as a guy who enjoys the hobby of gaming. Like, at some point, you have to say something. I know Ruler 2 Review and Shadow Fox had a couple polls out on Twitter a few weeks back talking about entitlement, and I'm like, I don't think people are entitled, but I think Nintendo made them this way because of the directs. People got used to it. We've been doing directs since 2013?
Yeah.
People are used to it now. They expect it. So is it entitlement? Kinda, but Nintendo started it. You can't get mad if you spoil a child. You can't get mad when you're the one that did the spoiling. Like, that's so true. You can't get mad. So I'm like, look, I understand where people are coming from, because look, I don't, gaming is a hobby for me. I don't obsess over it. So it's not as serious for me as it is for, I guess, other people. But this is something that Nintendo did. So now, and look, we know that was Iwata's baby. Everybody knows the directs were Iwata's baby, but I'm like, you got a good thing. If you're not gonna, you kind of have to keep it going until y'all transition into what the next thing that y'all want to try to do is.
And it better be just as good as the directs.
Yeah, because once again, people have gotten used to it. Because if they go back, think about it like this: if they go back to like doing conferences at E3, we'll be like, man, this is boring. Because most of the times when we did our coverages of E3 back when we was with the Gamers at Large, what do we always say?
Oh yeah,
dang, this is boring, man. They just talking, man. They ain't showing nothing. Nintendo drops a digital event. The next 3 days, we got Treehouse Directs, Treehouse Lives, where we actually get to see somebody playing the game while they talk to them.
Yeah, and then you get to see the nuances about the game
that helps you make your decision better.
Just like
helps you make your decision whether you want to purchase it or not. We've gotten used to it. It's because they've been doing this since like 2014, so we've gotten used to it. The direct started in 2013 at E3. I think the big one that kicked off everything was the 2014 E3 and the Treehouse Lives that went on after that. After that, we were just locked into it at that point. And once again, if Iwata was still here, he'd still be heading up doing it. But unfortunately, it happens. And change is going to happen. I mean, everything changes at some point. But I think like right now, Nintendo needs to stop being quiet. They need to say something. And they need to join in everybody else. Everybody else is figuring out how to do this. So y'all gonna have to figure something out too. Straight up. Nintendo of America, Nintendo of Europe, and Nintendo of Japan, y'all gonna have to figure something out because right now y'all are being entirely too quiet. You're not gonna tell me that Pikmin 3 is the only thing they're gonna have for the holiday season. I'm not believing that. But at the same time, you need to do something to allay your fan base's fears. Because right now, people are scared that Bayonetta 3 is getting canceled, which Hideki Kamiya has already said is not getting canceled. People don't know anything about No More Heroes, but Suda51 keeps trolling people, which he really needs to stop doing that. It's not funny. There's a
wrong person to not do that.
Yeah, but I'm saying there's a lot of things that they need to address, and it's going to take about 45 minutes for them to address it properly.
Yeah.
Because I was saying this year, if you want to go have Metroid Prime or Bayonetta, you better drop Breath of the Wild too. And they hadn't said nothing about Breath of the Wild. So to me, you're going to have no big game this holiday season, and y'all know Halo Infinite dropping. Okay. Play with 5 you want to. It's not going to be a good look. So, yeah, Nintendo, y'all need to say something to me, you need to say something no later than September. I mean, there needs to be a direct no later than September. Now watch next week, there's going to be one.
Probably.
I just thought about that. Next week, Nintendo's probably going to drop a full direct, like 3 hours long. But as of this recording, they have said nothing. So I feel justified in saying what I'm saying. I don't think I said anything wrong because as of this recording, ain't nobody heard nothing from nobody.
No, nothing wrong with saying. It's just like them times where I would say something and it pops up the next day. I'm like,
yeah, and it sucks, and they do it a lot. But hey,
or the times I was getting ready to say something and they put something out before I could do it. That was it's better. It's better that they beat me to the punch than me beating them to the punch.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. So, all right, so let's do something a little bit positive. So, Capcom had a Street Fighter. They had a presentation for Street Fighter. Now, I didn't see all of this because it happened while I was at work, so I was able to catch like the highlights. and I caught it over on Maximilian Dude's channel. Check him out if you like fighting games. And so Street Fighter V, the game that everybody hates, but for some reason it's still sold well, has
better. It sold better recently because when it first was out the gate, that game sold so poorly.
Yeah, but I mean, because I bought it when it first came out, and I was telling people, I'm like, dude, the game they shouldn't have released it, but it's still fun. I kept telling people like the gameplay, like, dude, this is like the best Street Fighter I played since like Third Impact, and people were telling me I was crazy for saying it.
Since gameplay wise, it is better. Yeah. It's definitely better than 4.
Yeah,
because 4 was like they tried to revert back to Street Fighter 2,
and that did not work.
It didn't work because it was so stiff. So 5 is a bit more fluid. I still think Street Fighter 3 feels better. Street Fighter 3 and Alpha, just as far as how the games feel, way better than
I can see that.
But if we're going like in comparison to its predecessors prior to those games, and in Street Fighter 4, and Street Fighter 4 wasn't even bad in and of itself because the game was fully fleshed out at least. It just 5 does feel better to play. Yeah.
So and there was a lot of people hating on the game back when it first released in 2016, and I couldn't get mad at them because their criticisms were valid. Their criticisms were valid because they rushed the game out, in my opinion, because of a particular group in the gaming industry. I'm not going to bring their name up because they suck. But
I will. I definitely will. The fighting game community, FGC. I will talk about all of you because a lot of you are whiny crybabies. So yes, I will call you out. Go ahead, bring it up to me. We can have a debate on this. I don't care.
And that is the day that we found out that Andre really wants that smoke. So, but that being said, like it was, did they rush it out? Yeah. But I think they actually did. They probably had one of the better turnarounds, in my opinion, of like, look, we effed up. We're sorry. Here's what we're doing to fix it. I mean, they're doing a better job than EA ever did.
That is true.
So, but
I'm not going to dispute that one. That is very true.
But they have a season 4 coming, and in this season 4, Dan finally comes. Rose is coming. Oro is coming back, and then they dropped the thing that actually got me saying I'm going to buy season 4, and that's Akira from Rival Schools.
I'm like,
wait a minute.
I'm trying to remember which one Akira is. Akira is Daigo's sister.
That's Daigo's sister, yeah. And I'm sitting there like, wait a second. Y'all won't bring back Rival Schools, but you'll do this? So...
Yeah, that's right. Are they bringing her back in her biker outfit?
Well, they showed the suit she had on in Project Justice, the camo with the biker boots and all that.
She had two different.
Yeah, but they had like the
remember.
But that's the thing. I'm like, dude, it's okay because I want to see how she plays when they actually do this. So, because she's not supposed to release till next year, till next summer. Is when she released. So I think Dan comes this fall though.
Oh, I get to troll people online with Dan.
Yeah, and I think that's what a lot of people are going to do.
But I'm like, hold on, y'all put Dan back. Y'all put Dan back in Street Fighter, but every step of the way, y'all keep disrespecting Sean. You ain't gonna put him in.
But that's the thing, because like they had they actually said that. Like the two people that worked on the game, they actually said they addressed that people have been asking for Sean. I'm like, dude, if you know we want Sean, just put Sean in.
The problem is they don't know what they want to do with him because they've already turned Sean into the pseudo Dan.
Yeah.
Instead of making him his own character.
Yeah,
which they should have done.
Sean was my favorite person in 3.
Yeah, he plays better than every other Shoto character in Street Fighter. I'm sorry. You can tell me he doesn't, but from how I played with him, didn't need projectiles, It could crush people with them.
Facts are facts. I mean, it's the facts are the facts. But yeah, I'm actually looking forward to it. The only thing is, and I want people to answer this in the comments. Do you want a new Project Justice game? Because God knows I do. Rival Schools Project Justice was a fun game.
I definitely want to Rival Schools.
It was a fun series, and I'm glad Dreamcast had it, but my Dreamcast just finally was scratched all the hell. You know what? Here's something we can ask, Andre. Why hasn't anybody redone all of those Dreamcast games and put them on people's stores? Like, why is it there?
I've been bringing that up, but it's just, they don't go anywhere. It's like, and I think it's mostly because the Dreamcast didn't get as much pull as it could have. So it's more cult classics rather than really good games. Because there's
a lot of great games on there, dude. Like Skies of Arcadia, Project Justice, Marvel vs. Capcom 2, Grandia 2, Draconis Curse of the Worm. I can keep going.
You got that. Then you had there was Evolution.
Ring of the Lotus War.
Yeah, I was about to bring that up. There was also, you had all three of the Street Fighter 3 games.
Mm-hmm. Sonic Adventure 2. I didn't like the first Sonic Adventure. Sonic Adventure 2.
The first one's okay for the overworld, but the levels are better in Sonic Adventure 2. I will concede that point.
So I'm like, why hasn't anybody just done like a Dreamcast?
And then what was the other game? The horror game, Ill Bleed.
Yeah, that one's a good one. Hell, my favorite version of Resident Evil Code Veronica.
Yep.
Code Veronica. I didn't like Code Veronica X. I loved Code Veronica on Dreamcast.
It was like they tried to cramp the stuff in the remake.
Yeah, which didn't jive well. So
then you got Mach X was also in the Dreamcast. So there's a lot of good shit on there.
It was a lot of great. That was a great underrated. Why is it like the systems that don't sell too well had great games on it?
It was because they had to have good games on them to draw attention. It's just the way Sega went with the Dreamcast really put a bad. What Sega did with the Saturn put a bad taste in everybody's mouth, and then by the time they brought the Dreamcast out, it was really not much help.
Yeah, it wasn't much you could do at that point. So that's pretty much it that I had for today. But I will I am playing the Marvel Avengers beta on PS4. Go over to my gaming channel. I put up some gameplay of it earlier. I'm gonna try to do one more gameplay session. I tried to go live with it last night, but I kept having issues. So I don't know if I'll be able to go live for a while. So what I'll do is just like record some stuff. I will do a Let's Talk on the beta for sometime next week. But I will say this about the beta for Marvel's Avengers. It's not bad, but I don't think it's a game that I'm gonna pick up day one just because I see what they're doing with it and I don't really agree with it. As far as the gameplay, it's your standard like action game with a few upgrade tweaks to it. So I can't really call it an RPG because it really ain't. It's just like an action game. I do like playing with Thor. I like playing with Captain America. I like playing with Widow. Hulk. I like playing with Hulk, but you kind of get a little bit cocky, or at least I got a little bit cocky with Hulk just because it's the Hulk. I mean, it's the Hulk. So I get hella cocky when I'm playing with the Hulk. I don't expect to die. So, but I can't stand playing with Iron Man. And I guess because I don't have enough time to like get used to how they implemented the controls for him. When you boot the game up, because I know Xbox people that pre-order, they get it next week. I'm going to tell you guys right now, go on, and if you haven't already, go to Square Enix if you've pre-ordered it, so you can do the beta. Go on and go to Square Enix and do the QR code, because you got to go through do all that stuff with your email and all that before they even let you play. So go on and do that ahead of time, so you can just go on when you go live, you can just go on and play it. That you play basically the beta, well, the demo that they did at E3 last year. So you get to play basically the first part. That's how it starts off. And I have an issue when you have like a game where you don't know what the game modes are and you don't know what the setup is, and they just throw you into it. I kind of don't like that a little bit, just because I'm like, okay, I don't want my hand held, but I also don't want to get surrounded by 30 people and I don't know what combos work or anything like that. I can't stand that. That is annoying to me. So, but it's actually easy to pick up. It's really easy to pick up. They do have a lot of QuickTime events. So if you don't like QuickTime events, I'm one of them. Just be prepared that there are a lot of QuickTime events in the game, especially the parts that I've played so far. There are a lot of QuickTime events. Don't be surprised if you miss time jumps, because I've mistimed a lot of them, especially with a certain character. Just understand that. Other than that, though, I'm enjoying what I've played for the most part, but I don't think I'm getting this day one unless they drop another trailer showing the X-Men. I'll get it when they show the X-Men, and that's probably not gonna be till next year anyway. So there's that. Other than that, I don't have anything else. Andre, you got anything?
Not really, not at the moment.
Okay, let's see if I can find something a little bit crazy, because we got like 5 more minutes I can pull off. Let me see. Where was that thing that I saw? Nope, that's not it. Nope, that's not it. Nope, that's not it. All right. Random question alert. So, Andre, would you be surprised if the next Smash Brothers character is from the Steam World games?
I mean, it would make sense. To be honest, it would make a lot of sense. I wouldn't be so surprised. Plus, thinking about it, they kind of would fit very well. It'd be easy to do their moveset.
Yep. I just like image and form. I like image and form, so I'm like, dude, since they make interesting games, I'm like, I don't have a problem with them getting the character in.
It wouldn't be honestly, I don't see an issue with it unless somebody just is going to be agitated that this image and form getting the character in there.
Yeah, not Dante, even though they hate sword characters.
I keep questioning why people ask for that. Like, you dislike sword characters in the game, but then you ask for other sword characters like Dante and Sora.
Yep. But there's too many sword characters in the game. Right.
There are far too many, and they want more.
Things that make you go home. So,
whereas I would be looking more forward to characters that use different weapons. I mean, that's why I was happy that hearing about Simon Richter being put in. But then why not somebody else from Castlevania that uses the whip but uses it in an entirely different way? Like Nathan Graves or the dude from Portrait of Ruin.
Jonathan?
I'm forgetting his name for a second. Yeah, Jonathan.
Yeah. That would actually be cool. But I mean, at this point, I just want Sakurai to get a vacation at this point.
Yeah, he needs one.
That man has earned a vacation. I mean, a lengthy one. I ain't talking about 2 weeks. Get that man 2 months. Let him just be at home, chill. Let him go out, but don't let him at work. Do not let him come to work.
Tell them to walk away.
Yeah, like, man, stay home. You are not allowed. You are not allowed on the premises. You're gonna take this vacation, and you're gonna take this vacation you earned, and you're gonna enjoy it. But yeah, people, that's gonna be it for this episode of the Wingin' It podcast. I hope you all have enjoyed it. Please don't forget to check out the Geek Life Gaming channel. Got a couple vids over there. Like I said, I'll be throwing over the arcades, the live streams, and the Let's Talks. They'll be on that channel. So please go over there, show some love, subscribe, like, share, all the other good stuff. I'm gonna try to have some vids up next week, but I am taking my laptop to get upgraded next week. So hopefully once I get it back, I'll be able to jump back on. I'm trying to make sure I put some stuff out. So that'll be taken care of so I can space some stuff out. But just so you know, just in case you don't see any vids up next week, that's probably why. Andre, anything you want to leave off with before we get out of here?
I'm just slowly getting my stuff back on the. I got tongue tied there. Getting my stuff back together, getting my Pitch for Switch videos popping back up. I'm gonna be doing more of my other idea videos. I gotta get some going for the Xbox. Get back into my mobile game ideas. Streets of Rage remake videos are coming back up. I gotta get back into doing the rest of the Streets of Rage 4 videos. Actually, one of them should be up tomorrow. Not tomorrow. Well, yeah, tomorrow by the time everybody listens to it. Getting myself mixed up.
It happens.
And if you haven't been watching anything, if you haven't been there, like my Silent Play Sunday videos are still coming every week because I don't have to talk in any of them. So it's easier to just record those and upload them. Yeah. Outside of whatever is coming to my channel outside of my normal stuff I'm going to be working on. I did drop my Ninja Gaiden 3 trilogy video that I am very happy with getting back into Pitch for Switch, and that was a good one to start with.
Yes. Koei Tecmo, we want Ninja Gaiden.
No more Dead or Alive. Give us some Ninja Gaiden.
Yeah, man. Yeah, because y'all done lost your mind on Dead or Alive with that crazy DLC stuff y'all be talking about. Y'all be thinking Nintendo had problems, and y'all think EA had problems. Have y'all seen what Koei Tecmo has done for the last 2 DOA series? They have literally lost their mind.
All for some costumes, not even actual game costumes.
I'm talking about $94 for the DLC. You must be crazy. But I digress. Yeah, check that out because love that Ninja Gaiden trilogy. Pitch for Switch. That was dope. That was dope. The hell? Okay, sorry about that, people. I had, I guess, people being fast and furious outside. So yeah, we will catch you guys next week. Don't forget to follow both our channels, all the other good stuff. And we will see you guys on the next vid. As always, Wakanda forever, and peace out.
Peace out, everybody.